Good morning, everybody. My name is Ian Shepard, and I'm the owner of Right Start Newcomer Services. Welcome to our today's lesson of Learn Canadian English. And today's lesson is all about hobbies and interests. So that's why I'm standing in my kitchen, because one of my favorite hobbies is to cook and also to bake. So we'll get started in a second. But before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that Right Start Newcomer Services conducts business in Chibuktuk, which is how you say Halifax in the Mi'kmaq language. This city is part of the ancestral unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. This means that when settlers came, the Indigenous people did not surrender their territory and instead signed treaties with Europeans. As a business, we're committed to upholding these treaties as we continue to build relationships between settlers, newcomers, and Indigenous people. So thank you very much for joining me today. So if you're watching, say hello, maybe say what you've been doing, how was your weekend, anything you want to say, just put it in the comments section. And if you're watching the video later, thank you so much for watching. You can also ask questions and put in comments afterwards, and I will get to those at some point. So today we have a really good lesson. We don't see a whole lot of people here today. Maybe that's because it's so beautiful outside. So like I said, today's lesson is all about hobbies and interests. So we've got a lot planned. Just 1 second, please. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so first we'll start off with a little warm-up. We'll just chit-chat a little bit about your favorite hobbies and what are hobbies, basically. Then we're going to learn some vocabulary. So I think we have 18 words, different hobbies, and we'll see which hobbies you know already. Practice your spelling a little bit. Then we're going to do a little bit of grammar. So we're going to talk about adverbs, adverbs of frequency. You guys are going to talk about your hobbies a little bit, and then we have a listening practice. So you'll listen to it and then answer some questions about the listening. So sound good with you guys? If so, let's keep going. So I want to hear from you guys. What are hobbies? So just give me a definition. What's a hobby? Why do people have hobbies? So if you know what a hobby is, why do people do these things? And what are some of the most popular hobbies in your country? So I see we've got a comment here. Bay is waving. Hey, Bay, how's it going in Brazil? I hope you're doing well. And I hope the weather's nice there. And I hope the coronavirus isn't too bad down there. So can you put your answers in the comment section? So what are hobbies? Hobbies are something, something, something. Why do people have hobbies? I have no idea. Maybe you have an idea. Why do people do these things? And then finally, what are some of the most popular hobbies in your country? So Canadians, you know, we like to play hockey. What else? We like to complain about taxes. We like to complain about the weather. What else do Canadians like to do? Well, I don't know. We like to watch TV. We like to watch Netflix. We like to do a whole bunch of things, a lot of outdoor things. So we have an answer from Bay. My hobby is my work, painting and singing. Oh, very cool. So I guess work can sort of be a hobby if you love what you do. It's fun, right? Hobbies are supposed to be fun. Usually your job is not your hobby, but I mean, sometimes it is. So that's awesome, Bay. You like to paint and sing. Very cool. Okay, great. Anybody else? I'd like to hear from you. What are hobbies? Why do people have these hobbies? And what are some of the most popular hobbies in your country? Okay, if I don't hear anybody, I'll just say, so hobbies are fun activities that you like to do in your free time. So you're not getting paid to do them. You do them because you like them. You do them because they're fun. Why do people do them? Because it's good for you, right? It's good to do activities, not just for money, but because you love it. It's good for your mind. It's good for your spirit. It's good for your body because a lot of hobbies involve going outside, exercising, getting together with people, making new friends. So all of these things are really important for ourselves, our health, and our mental health, especially. Oh, hey, Irene. Irene, long time no see. How's it going? Hope you're doing very well in Russia. And thank you so much for joining us for today's lesson. Okay, that is awesome. So I don't see any more comments about these questions. If you're not sure what a hobby is, let me know. You can put that in the comment section and we'll be sure to answer your question. If you're coming in late, I just wanted to mention that cooking is one of my hobbies. So I'm hanging out in the kitchen today. Not really, this is just a green screen. It's not really my kitchen. But I thought it would be pretty funny. So let's move ahead. Okay, now this is a fun part. Let's learn some new words. Look at the photos, name the hobbies. So as we go through, you can put your answer in the comment section. You can wait till the end if you want. Altogether, I think we have about 18 words. So we're going to go pretty quickly. So I'll go slide by slide, maybe 15 or 20 seconds per slide, and each slide has 3 pictures. So practice your typing. If you know the answer, put it in the comments section. Okay, so, there's Irene. Everything's good, thank you. How are you? I'm doing very well, Irene. The weather's getting nicer here in Canada, getting some fresh air. Slowly, the coronavirus restrictions are loosening up, so people are getting back to normal, going to restaurants again, and that type of thing. So we're very optimistic that the worst is behind us and things are going to get better from here. So thank you for asking, Irene. So look at the pictures. What are these hobbies? So for example, you can say playing soccer or painting or playing guitar or playing music or creating music. So these are, it's pretty open. Just say what you see in the picture. You can put those in the comment section or you can write them down and we will discuss them later. Okay, so that's the first slide. Second slide. Oh, there's some hard ones here. Good. Keep putting your answers in the comment section and we'll go over those at the end once we've been through all of the slides. So we'll give everybody a chance to answer. Oh, maybe these are some new words for you. Okay, let's go to the next one. So if you're just joining us, we're going over hobbies. You can write your answer if you know what those pictures are. You can put it in the comment section. You can write it down on a piece of paper. Do your best, and then we'll go over them once we're all finished, all of the slides, okay? Okay, next one. Oh, there's one of my favorite activities there. And I always wanted to try that one in the bottom left corner. That guy should be wearing a helmet. It is the law in Canada if you're riding a skateboard. Oh, shit, I shouldn't have said. Oh, I shouldn't have swore. If you're on a bicycle, skateboard, anything like that, you have to wear a helmet. I think it is the law in most places in Canada. And if the police caught him, maybe he gets a ticket. But, it is for his own safety. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Oh, there's some more good hobbies. And I think we have one more slide after this. So what are these hobbies? One more, and then we'll go over the answers. Okay, you guys are doing great. I see lots of answers coming in. Bay, you're doing great. Irene, you're doing great. Anybody else know any of these words? You can put those in the comments section. Okay, and I think the last one. Okay, here's the last one. And what are they doing? Great job, you guys. That's awesome. Good. Okay, so I see. All right, well, let's go back. We'll go over your answers and make sure we're all right here. All right, let's go back to the first page of pictures. All right. All right, so it was this one. And we got some answers way back here. Okay, there we go. So the first slide. Here is an answer from Bay. Painting, very good. Practicing sports or playing sports, you could say, and playing guitar. Very good. And that sport is soccer. We call it soccer here in Canada, although they call it football in other countries. So that is exactly right. Bay, you got all of those ones. That's perfect. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the one in the top, that one's a little bit tricky. The next one I think we got. So camping. The one in the bottom corner is called camping. So that's a very fun activity, a very fun hobby here in Canada. And do we get the one on the right side? Oh, there we go. So Irene said travel and yoga. Good. So sometimes we camp when we're traveling, and we do yoga for exercise and for peace of mind. The one in the top left corner, that one I don't think anybody got. We would call that, I'll put it in here. Archery. So you can do archery. Archery is when you have a bow and arrow and you practice shooting at targets. So maybe that's a new word for you. That is great. Let's move on. And I think we've got answers for these ones. Where's golf, chess, oh, here we go. So cooking, Irene got these ones. Cooking, reading, making photos. Good guess. Let's say take photos instead of make photos. So we take pictures or we take photographs. Or you could say to do photography. Photography is the hobby, or you can just say take photos. So very good. And here, cooking, reading, taking photos. Okay, and Bay got those ones too, reading and cooking. Very good, you guys. So that's that page. Let's move on to the next one. And Bay said playing video games. Very good. Skating. Oh, good guess, but not quite. So it's not exactly skating. Skating would be, you know, hockey skates or ice skates or roller skates. This is called, did anybody get it? I don't see anybody else with the right answer. So let's call it skateboarding. So yeah, I would call it, or we would call it skateboarding. So I mean, mostly young people do it, but not necessarily. So maybe that's a new word for you. And did we get the one in the bottom left? Make craft items, yeah. So you're making some kind of craft. Let's call it pottery. So we can do pottery or make pottery. This is another arts and crafts that seems really cool. And if you saw the Ghost movie, of course, you know the famous scene with Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore that made pottery very, very popular here in Canada for a while. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So I think we got the one in the top left. Somebody said that. Bay got that. So playing chess. Chess is the game in the top left. That's a very popular hobby here in Canada and across the world. Surf or surfing. Very good. So the bottom left is called surfing. And then the last one with the horse. Oh, Irene said chess, my favorite hobbies, and horses too. Okay, so Irene loves chess and horses. So we could say riding horses, taking care of horses, something like that. And then finally, last one, I think Bay got it. So golf in the top left is golf, gardening on the far right, and then listening to music. Very good, but we don't put S on music. Music is always singular. So listening to music, you could say listening to songs or listening to different types of music or different artists, but you can't put S on music. Okay, very good, you guys. And I think Irene got it too. Golfing, listening to music. And Edwin's here. Hey, Edwin, how's it going? And Irene says playing guitar, and you are very welcome, Irene. So I think we're all caught up on the comments and answers. If you missed any, here are the ones that we showed. So painting, playing soccer, playing guitar, doing archery, camping, doing yoga, doing photography, reading, baking. Oh, there's my oven back there. Baking or cooking, playing video games. Oh, where's my video game? Yes, I do like to play video games too. Next one, doing pottery or making pottery. Skateboarding, playing chess, surfing, riding horses, golfing, listening to music, and gardening. So of these hobbies, which ones have you tried? Which ones would you like to try? And which one seems the most boring? So out of these hobbies, which one don't you like because you think it's boring? So which ones have you tried? Painting, soccer, guitar? Let me see. I painted, I played soccer, unfortunately. Guitar, not really. Archery, when I was a kid. I like camping, I like yoga, I like photography, I like reading, baking, and cooking. I love video games. I've never done pottery. I would like to try pottery sometime. Skateboarding, not really, not since I was a kid. I would probably break my neck if I tried it today. Chess, not really into chess. Chess is kind of boring for me. Surfing, I'd like to try surfing sometime in a warm place. Not in Nova Scotia because the water is freezing, maybe in Hawaii or somewhere. Riding horses, I did that as a kid, but I didn't really like it. Golfing is a little boring. I love listening to music. I don't really like gardening. We don't have a garden here, and I used to do it for a job, so I don't really like to do it in my free time. So for you guys, of these ones, which ones would you like to try, or which ones are boring for you? So just put your answer in the comments. So we'll hear from a few people, and then we'll move on. Who else is here? I know Bay's here, Irene's here, Edwin's here. Who else is watching? If you're watching, just say hello, and then we'll move on to our next activity. Okay, Bay, great answer. So these are the ones that you do or have done. So painting, guitar, oh cool. Reading, skateboarding, camping, cooking, video games, and listening to music. Very cool, Bay. So those are the ones that you like. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yasser, hey Yasser, I don't know if I know you. Welcome to today's lesson, Yasser. I hope you're doing very well wherever you are. And Bay says boring is gardening and yoga. So she finds gardening and yoga to be quite boring. I agree about the gardening. Yoga, yeah, it can be a little bit boring. Depends who the teacher is, I guess. Okay, so we practiced a lot of words about yoga. We practiced what we like, what we've done, what we'd like to try. Let's move on and talk about grammar a little bit. So for this lesson, the grammar point is going to be adverbs. Okay, adverbs are very important words that describe how we do something, when we do something, how often we do something. So it's really useful, I think, for this type of lesson. Before we move on, we've got some comments from Irene. So Irene likes painting, reading, cooking, listening to music, doing photos. Let's say maybe taking photos. Great. Doing craft items, playing chess, and you love horses. Okay, very cool. Do you have a horse, Irene? Does everybody have a horse in Russia? Some people do here in Canada, but usually not in the city. So Edwin says he likes playing soccer, camping, reading, and skateboarding. Very cool, Edwin. Those sound like fun hobbies. So thank you guys so much for participating. We're going to move on and talk about grammar. So today's grammar is adverbs. We're going to practice talking about how often, how many times a week we do something. So adverbs of frequency are used to describe how often something happens. And there are 6 main ones, but there are quite a few other ones that we can discuss. So maybe we want to say something happens a lot, or we do something all the time. So we can use words like always, or every day, or all the time. For example, I swim in the ocean every day, or I always go swimming in the morning. Okay, so these things that happen all the time, every day, something like that. We also have words like usually. So this doesn't mean we do it all the time, but almost all the time. So for example, I usually go for a walk after breakfast in the morning. So does that mean I do it every day? No, it means I do it 6 days a week or 5 days a week. Okay, so words like usually, almost always, or almost every day are used quite a bit to describe when we do things. We've got a comment here from Irene. No, I've have a horse. It's so expensive, but I admire them. Okay, my ancestors had horses. It's in my blood. Okay, great. So they are very expensive. Hopefully you get a chance to ride them once in a while. And yeah, I guess all of our ancestors probably had horses at one time or another. Okay, thank you for that answer, Irene. So a few more adverbs. So we can use words like usually, almost always, or almost every day. Often, or most of the time. So this is maybe 60, 70% of the time we do these things. For example, I often go fishing on the weekends. Or most of the time I bake bread for dinner. That makes sense, I guess. And finally, sometimes, so these are things that we do maybe half the time. Sometimes I go to the gym and lift weights. Once or twice a week. Okay, so this is very infrequently. So once or twice a week, I play chess with my grandson. If I had a grandson, I might play chess with him. And finally, rarely. So these are things we don't do very often at all. So I rarely go surfing. So I do it maybe once a month, once a year, something like that. We also have other expressions, once in a while, or once in a blue moon. So that's an idiom that means almost never. I almost never do things. For example, I play video games once in a blue moon. Means almost never. And then we have never. I never do something. So one other thing to discuss is where these words go in the sentence, right? Usually it's after the subject. So in this case, the subject is I. I always bake cookies. Maybe we'll use often. She often paints pictures. So usually it goes after the subject, but it can come other places too. So some of these don't go after the subject. They would come at the end of the sentence or beginning of the sentence. For example, most of the time. Most of the time, I go surfing after work. Okay, so in that case, it comes at the beginning, or you could also say it at the end. I go surfing after work most of the time. But you cannot put it after the subject I. You can't say I most of the time go surfing. So it has to come at the beginning or the end. So give me a little practice. Use one of these adverbs of frequency. Make a sentence about your hobbies, or maybe a hobby that you never do, sometimes do, usually do, always do. I'll give you an example. So once or twice a week, I go fishing. This is not true because I don't actually like this. But you could say something like this. Once or twice a week, I go fishing with my friends. Doesn't have to be true, doesn't have to be real. Just use one of these adverbs of frequency and make a sentence about your situation. And here, Edwin has one. I often jogging in the morning. Very good, Edwin. I love jogging too. Let's say I often jog, J-O-G. I often jog in the morning, or I often go jogging. So we have to use another word in this case. With words like always, often, usually, we usually use the simple present form of the verb. So I often go, I often do, I often jog, and then your sentence would be perfect, Edwin. So does that make sense? So here I said I go fishing. So I can't just say I fishing. I have to say I go fishing with my friends. Okay, very good, Edwin. And Irene has one. I never do yoga exercises. I don't like it. Very good. Maybe you could say I never do yoga exercises, but I don't like it. Or sorry, I never do yoga exercises because I don't like it. And don't forget your capital I. I needs to be big all the time when it's by itself. Edwin says, okay, good, Edwin. We learned something today. I usually paint every day. Very good, Bay, except every day in this case is 2 words. So every day, 2 words. Awesome. Okay, great sentences, you guys. Anybody else have one? I see we have 5 or 6 viewers. I want to give everybody a chance to practice their English. You're very welcome, Bay. You learned something too today. Good, I hope. Anybody else want to give me a sentence using one of these adverbs? Because it's good practice, right? Again, most of the time these adverbs go after the subject, but some cases they can go at the beginning of the sentence or at the end of the sentence. So you can practice putting them in different places in the sentence, whether it's after the subject, at the beginning, or at the end. Okay, so let's move on. We're on a strict schedule here. we already talked about this. I think we're going to skip this. Everybody had a chance to talk about their favorite hobbies, talked about how often you do it and why you like it. Let's move on. So the next activity is a conversation. So you guys are going to have to listen and answer these 5 questions. So you'll get some listening practice for today, okay? So maybe get your pencils ready. We're gonna listen in 1 second. It's a little bit of a long conversation and we talk pretty fast. So you might recognize my voice and my wife's voice, but we're playing different characters this time. So the questions: who are the people talking? So what are their names? What are their favorite hobbies? How often do they do them? What hobbies do they hate? And what hobbies would they like to try? So listen, we're going to play the conversation, see which ones you can answer, and then we'll go over the answers at the end. You know, this is a good example also. So if you are making small talk at work or you're meeting new people, hobbies are very often a topic of conversation. So it's great to talk about hobbies, and you can make really good friends if you share the same hobbies with those people. So hobbies are great for small talk at work, meeting new people, parties, joining groups where other people are doing the same hobbies. So it is a really useful topic to discuss in a class like this. Okie dokie. So is everybody ready to go? Going to get my listening ready. You've got your pencils ready. You're going to answer the questions on the screen. And here we go. Let me know if it's too quiet, too loud, can't hear, and then we'll make some adjustments. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Good morning, Kathy. How are you today?
Hi, Gerald. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad. How was your weekend?
I had a really great weekend.
Oh, cool.
So nice and sunny.
Oh, yeah. What'd you do?
You know, I went for a swim both days in the lake.
Swimming? Is that one of your favorite hobbies?
It is one of my absolute favorite hobbies.
Oh, cool. I used to swim when I was young, but I don't really do it anymore.
You don't like it anymore?
Nah.
What is your favorite hobby?
Well, one of my favorite hobbies is chess. I love sitting down and thinking about all the moves and playing against my friends.
Wow.
Yeah. What else do you like to do besides swim?
I really like to do art. I like to be creative.
Oh, that's cool. Do you like to paint or do pottery or what?
I like to paint mostly. What about you?
Yeah, I don't really like painting, but I'm really into meditation these days.
Oh, why do you like meditation?
It's so peaceful, and I really get some clarity.
Great.
Yeah. What about a hobby you don't like?
You know, I really don't like gardening.
Why not? Gardening's fun.
There's just so many bugs. I really don't like bugs.
Oh, yeah. Bugs are pretty lame.
Do you have any hobbies that you don't like?
I really don't like hunting.
I
don't like killing animals.
I understand.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go soon, but what's one hobby you'd like to try someday?
I would love to try scuba diving.
Oh, scuba diving. That sounds so cool.
What about you?
I'd like to try bungee jumping, but I'm kind of afraid of heights, so I don't know if I'll ever try that.
Okay.
Great. Well, I'll see you later, Kathy. Have a great day at work.
You too, Gerald. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, so how was that? Were you able to listen? Could you hear it? Did you understand the conversation? And did you get the answer to those questions? So here's your quiz for the day. So of those 5 questions, were you able to answer any of them? So who were the people talking? What were their names? I know it was really me and my wife, but what names did we use for that conversation? What were our favorite hobbies? How often did we do them? How often did the people do those hobbies? What hobbies do they hate? And what hobbies would they like to try? So if you know any of those answers, put it in the answer box. We could listen again. We have time to listen again if you want. Or did we put you to sleep with our acting skills? I hope not. Okay, great. We have some answers coming in. So Irene got number 1. Kathy and Gerland, not quite, but Kathy is right. So Kathy with a K sometimes. Sometimes Kathy spelled with a C. Depending on the Kathy, maybe it's short for Catherine. Okay, so Kathy can be with a K or a C. And you're so close, Yasser. Kathy and Gerald. So in the performance, my name was Gerald. So Kathy or Kathy with a C or K, and Gerald. Maybe he goes by Jerry with his friends. Okay, so we got number 1. Those were the people talking, probably their coworkers, because they were talking about, have a good day at work. Maybe they see each other in the, the kitchen before work or in the parking lot, and they're going into work and they have this little conversation. So number 1, we're good. Number 2, what are their favorite hobbies? So I think they discussed maybe 2 each. What are their favorite hobbies? Maybe let's re-listen to that part because I don't see any answers coming in. If you know the answer is great, we'll listen to that part one more time. Good morning, Kathy. How are you today?
Hi, Gerald. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad. How was your weekend?
I had a really great weekend.
Oh,
it was
cool.
So nice and sunny.
Oh, yeah. What'd you do?
I went for a swim both days in the lake.
Swimming? Is that one of your favorite hobbies?
It is one of my absolute favorite hobbies.
Oh, cool. I used to swim when I was young, but I don't really do it anymore.
You don't like it anymore?
Nah.
What is your favorite hobby?
Well, one of my favorite hobbies is chess. I love sitting down and thinking about all the moves and playing against my friends.
Wow.
Yeah. What else do you like to do besides swim?
I really like to do art. I like to be creative.
Oh, that's cool. Do you like to paint or do pottery or what?
I like to paint mostly. What about you?
Yeah, I don't really like painting, but I'm really into meditation these days.
Oh, why do you like meditation?
It's so peaceful, and I really get some clarity.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we just listened to those. What do we say? Oh, here's Edwin's answer. Gerald likes to play chess, and Kathy likes to swim. Okay. Just put 2 after likes to play, likes to swim. And then you're perfect, Edwin. Okay, so Kathy likes to swim and Gerald likes to play chess. So that was one thing. There is one more for each. Bay got the swimming one. Very good. Kathy likes swimming. He likes, don't forget your S, likes chess. Very good, Irene. Chess. Crafts. Okay, great. So I think she said like art, make art, do art. And the next one, Bay, meditation. So does everybody know meditation? It's when you sit, you practice your breathing, and you try to clear your mind. So Yasser got the same ones. Very good. Swimming and painting. He likes painting. Gerald likes meditation. Gerald likes to meditate. Good. Let's say likes to meditate. And Kathy likes to paint. Very good, Edwin. So I think we got it. So the 2 for Kathy, swimming and art. Gerald says he likes to play chess and he likes to meditate. How often do they do them? This was a little tricky, and I don't think we actually said in the listening. So Kathy did say that she went twice, 2 times on the weekend. So we can assume that Kathy does them often, or most of the time, or almost every day. For Gerald, how often does he play chess with his friends and do meditation? We don't really know. So they didn't say, because they did not spend a whole lot of time doing that recording. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, and 3 all finished. A couple more, and then we're done for today. What hobbies do they hate? Okay, did anybody get number 4? Or should we keep listening through the rest one last time? Okay, let's listen to the last part one more time. What about a hobby you don't like?
I really don't like gardening.
Why not? Gardening's fun.
There's just so many bugs. I really don't like bugs.
Oh yeah, bugs are pretty lame.
Do you have any hobbies that you don't like?
I really don't like hunting. I don't like killing animals.
I understand.
Yeah, well. Okay, so I think we got the 2 hobbies. And here we go. Bay has the answer. She hates gardening. Very good. And Yasser got the one for Gerald. He hates hunting. So very good. Gardening and hunting. Irene said the same thing. Kathy hates gardening. Gerald hates hunting. He doesn't like hunting and gardening. So great. They hate gardening. Do you remember why? Why does Kathy hate gardening? And why does Gerald hate hunting? Very good, Edwin. So Kathy hates gardening and Gerald doesn't like hunting. Bugs. Okay, very good, Bay. So bugs are those small little animals or insects that bite you when you're in the garden. And why doesn't Gerald like hunting? He doesn't like to kill animals. Very good. So hunting is all about finding an animal, killing it, maybe eating it, or just hunting for fun. And Gerald doesn't like that. And good answer, Edwin, because there's a lot of bugs. Let's say there are a lot of bugs instead of have a lot of bugs. So there are a lot of bugs. And he doesn't like killing animals. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. The last one, what hobbies would they like to try in the future? So maybe they never tried them before. What would they like to try? Let's finish the listening one last time. I gotta go soon, but what's one hobby you'd like to try someday?
I would love to try scuba diving.
Oh, scuba diving. That sounds so cool.
What about you?
I'd like to try bungee jumping, but I'm kind of afraid of heights, so I don't know if I'll ever try that.
Okay.
Great. Well, I'll see you later, Kathy. Have a great day at work.
You too, Gerald. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Pretty good acting, huh? I don't know. We might win an Academy Award someday. All right, so last one. What hobbies would they like to try? I think one for each. Thank you. I got it after he, she, it. Use the verb with S, right? Exactly. So when we have the simple present tense, when the subject is he or she or it, we put S. So instead of he like, he likes. Instead of she do, she does. So you're exactly right. We put S at the end of the simple present tense. All right, so these words were a little tricky and they didn't come up before. So he would like to bungee jumping, or he would like to go bungee jumping. That is perfect. What is it? What's bungee jumping? Okay, and Yasser, scoob. I think you just had a spelling mistake for scuba. S-C-U-B-A, scuba diving. Base jumping. Base jumping's a little bit different from bungee jumping. Base jumping means you jump off a building or a rock or a mountain, and then you have a parachute. So you have a thing to slow you down and make you fall slowly. Jumping, scuba diving, very good. Kathy dreams about scuba diving, and you are welcome, Irene. So I think we got it. Scuba diving. So scuba diving is when you are under the water. Looks like a fish or something. Anyway, you have your tank. And you go and look at the fishes in the ocean or wherever. That is probably one of the worst drawings I've ever done, but that is supposed to be somebody scuba diving. I ran out of room. So that one is scuba diving, and the last one is bungee jumping. Bungee jumping is when you jump, you have a rope or a cord attached to your body. You jump off something high, and then the string catches you so you don't fall to your death. Bay, I think you're laughing at my drawing. Yeah, probably. You can tell I don't do art a whole lot. This is supposed to be a head with hair. Forget about it. It's not getting any better. So bungee jumping is a little bit different from parachuting or base jumping. You have a cord, you jump, and then the cord is supposed to hold you. But I don't know. It's a little bit scary for me because I do have a fear of heights. I don't like being up really high places and then jumping because I would be afraid that the cord would break and I would be dead. So who knows if I will ever try bungee jumping. Scuba diving, I'm afraid of sharks, so maybe I wouldn't go scuba diving either. Bungee jumping, I think it's a little dangerous sport. Yes, I think it is quite dangerous, but some people love that. They like the thrill, they like the adrenaline, they like the feeling. Yeah, I mean, I like driving, but I don't think I would try bungee jumping. Okay, you guys did an awesome job today. Great job listening. You were able to listen to a conversation between two English speakers, and you got all this information. So that's really impressive. Just want to go over what we covered today. So in the beginning, we talked a little bit about hobbies. We learned some new words. We named hobbies, and we learned, like 18 different hobbies. So maybe that gives you an idea of what you'd like to try sometime. Or you can practice talking about which ones you've done, which ones you would like to try, why you would like to try them. So that's a good way to improve your vocabulary and also your conversation skills. And then we talked about grammar. We went over the adverbs of frequency. So how often do you like to do these things? Once in a while, every day, twice a week, sometimes, never. It's really good practice using those words too. Finally, we talked a little bit more about our hobbies, and then we practiced listening to a conversation and getting details from that conversation about hobbies. So that is pretty much it for today. I'm going to let you go get back to your regular life. I want to thank you so much for coming to today's lesson. I hope you learned a little bit. You got some practice doing a few different things. You can always go to my website and look and find previous lessons. We also do a quiz that you can complete after the lesson is finished. And as always, feel free to contact me if you want to say hi, if you have an idea how to make the lessons better, or you have a topic that you really want us to cover. Just let us know. So you can email me at info@rightstartcanada.ca. I hope you have a great week, you guys. So have a great week. I hope coronavirus is almost finished, so you'll be able to get back to normal. So Irene has a comment here. Thank you, Ian. The lesson was useful and fun like always. So I'm very happy to hear that. I want it to be useful. I want it to be fun. I want you to meet some people, have a good time, and just practice your English in a fun, relaxed way. You're very welcome, Bay. Thank you so much for coming back. And you're very welcome, Yasser. Yasser says, thank you very much. You're very welcome, Yasser. And you're welcome to Edwin. Thank you so much. Have a great week. We'll be back on Thursday, and Thursday's lesson is going to be fun too. We're going to talk about superstitions. So superstitions are things that people believe in, maybe things that are lucky, unlucky, good, bad. And we're going to talk about Canadian superstitions, and I want to hear about superstitions from around the world. So that's it for today, guys. Have an awesome day, and we'll see each other soon. Bye-bye.